Now turn up.
What up is Marcus with Dynasty Football Dads? We have Week 7 preview, Thursday Night Football, and a lot of things have been going on Thursday, or there's a lot of things that we have to talk about for Thursday Night Football. Let's just get right into it, and we're going to be doing a couple of the Sunday games as well. Thursday Night Football, no Chubb, no Hunt, no Baker Mayfield. That is the big one. So you're going to get Keenum, you're going to get Dearness Johnson, you're going to get Demetric Felton, you're going to get Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's going to be a little bit of a sloppy time for the Browns. And the Broncos side, Teddy Bridgewater is questionable. We don't know if he's going to be starting. We think he's going to be starting, but I mean, that's a huge question at this point. So let's just go ahead and go through the fantasy relevance of this. Teddy Bridgewater is a potentially streamable quarterback, kind of a high QB2, if maybe even low QB1, if he plays. The Browns defense has been bad. I mean, we're talking a bottom 5 pass defense team, which doesn't seem like it surprises me. You have Myles Garrett, you have a what you consider a good defensive line, and they just seem to not be able to stop the pass. Herbert just showed that they've been torching him, and other teams have been torching the Browns as well, which has been disappointing for the Browns. So Javonte Williams, Melvin Gordon, they're 50-50 split. They're just kind of these flex plays. You just kind of hope one of them gets into the end zone. That's how they get their fantasy relevance. They're also going to get 6-7 points, probably right in there. If you're PPR, probably 8, 9, maybe even 10 points, because they each get a couple catches here per game. So then we have Tim Patrick. If you were looking for wide receiver number 25 on the year, which is, or not on the year, but every single week it seems to be. I mean, literally every week he's like wide receiver 25, and he's a guy that gets 12 points in half-point PPR. I mean, Tim Patrick should be pretty much startable in every single league, and he should not be on the waivers, which he seems to be in majority of leagues still. And we've been talking about that for literally 3-4 weeks now, since Jerry Jeudy injury. Cortland Sutton, he is going to be starting in this matchup, just because the Browns defense, again, horrible against the pass, unless even with Drew Lock, if somehow Drew Lock starts, you're going to be starting Cortland Sutton. The Browns side, you're not starting Keenum. Dearness Johnson's, I think, going to have an game. I think Demetric Felton's going to have a bunch of dump-offs. I talked about how I think Demetric Felton, long-term wise, this might not be the full breakout for Demetric Felton, but I think long-term wise, especially when Chubb comes back, Demetric Felton's going to be more utilized than Dearness Johnson. 1 week, yeah, Dearness Johnson. Multiple weeks, I think you need to pick up Demetric Felton as the backup. He's the backup to Hunt. If you look at Hunt and Chubb being two different positions, Demetric's Hunt's backup and Dearness is Chubb's backup. So if Chubb's back, you're going to see more Demetric Felton along with Nick Chubb, in my opinion. Donovan Peoples-Jones is not startable, especially with Case Keenum. I like Case Keenum, but even with Baker, he wasn't really startable, so I'm not going to start him here. Chiefs, Titans, you're starting your normal Chiefs. I mean, really you are. I mean, Darrell Williams is now startable there. Titans, this is usually like, oh my goodness, Titans. I mean, the Chiefs are even worse than the Browns. I think the Browns are 30th, the Chiefs are 31st when it comes to letting up fantasy points to like quarterbacks and wide receivers. It's bad with the Chiefs. I know that they stopped Taylor Heineke, but I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, I guess, or double down. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, and you could see Derrick Henry another 3-touchdown game. I mean, it's been happened 43% of the time, but I think Derrick Henry's not going to have 3 touchdowns, right? I'm 57% confident with that answer. So when it comes to it, I think Ryan Tannehill is a fine, kind of streamable, right up there with like the Teddy Bridgewater type. I would rather have him slightly over Teddy Bridgewater, slightly over Jameis, those type of quarterbacks that are in this kind of low-end QB1, high-end QB2 with this bipocalypse going on. Washington versus Packers, this is a big one. Antonio Gibson did not practice again today. Today is Wednesday. A shin injury, that is a problem. And you could see him be gone for a week or two, and this could be a J.D. McKissic type game. Also, just as a really deep flyer, Jarrett Patterson is an option. I mean, he is a shorter running back, but he would be potentially in some mix for some carries as well if you're really desperate for some need. Packers, A.J. Dillon has been scoring some points. I mean, he's been taking some off of Aaron Jones. So I think that A.J. Dillon could be a flexish type area with Washington's defense that has been not great and very surprising that they have not been good. Speaking of which, Terry McLaurin back to healthy. So just make sure that you know that he's right now it says there's no injury donation, whatever it is. There is no injury sign on him. So he should be back to being fine. And so just note that. Devontae Adams, you're starting him, you're starting no one else. No Tanyan, you're starting Rodgers. Pretty easy. We got 3 more games left. Bengals versus Ravens. Bengals here. I think the Bengals. You're starting Mixon if he's healthy. You're not starting Chris Evans or anything like that crazy. You're starting any healthy wide receiver in this matchup. I do think the Ravens are going to go back to kind of earth. They did really well against the Chargers. I think they're going to go back to kind of what their standard has been. They are a beat up defense. We'll see what happens. I mean, this could. I think it's going to be a little bit more. I think it's going to be like a 28-24 game. Right? And I think the Ravens are actually going to lose this game to the Bengals. I'm going to say it's my upset. I don't know what the line is, but that's what I'm going to say. Ravens, Devontae Freeman could be the starting running back here. And if he is, which looks like it to be, he would be some sort of low RB2, kind of high RB3 type of player. And he could fall into the end zone once or twice, and that would give him really good upside here. Lamar Jackson, starting him. Marquise Brown, I'm starting him, but knowing that the upside could be limited. You should have picked up Rashad Bateman if you haven't, because he had 6 targets. Yeah, not that many yards, but he is a guy for the long term that we're looking at. Mark Andrews, he's been a stud. In fact, I think he's only had like 5 points less than it. Travis Kelce all year, which has been crazy. Panthers and Giants, you're starting DJ Moore, you're starting Hubbard. That is it. You're not starting Darnold. You're not starting Robbie Anderson. You're not starting anybody else. Giants, Kadarius Toney, doubtful. So what you're looking at is Sterling Shepard. You're looking at Devontae Booker, and that is about it. That is literally it. That is kind of a boring fantasy matchup game, but that's literally what we're going to be dealing with. And you could have a John Ross or Deontay Pettis. I can't believe I say Deontay Pettis. Yes, him. All right, Falcons, Dolphins. This is going to be a mess. Just a mess in general, because I think Tua is going to have an game. I think Waddle's going to have another good game. I think Gaskins is actually going to. He's had only like 5-6 rushes a game, but he had a couple targets. I think the Dolphins running backs as a whole will have a decent game. It's just I think it's going to be split up among Ahmed and Malcolm Brown and Myles Gaskin. And Falcons, you're starting Patterson. Mike Davis is kind of, again, like this low flex, but high touchdown upside here in this Dolphins, the horrible defense. And you are starting Ridley. And you're starting Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is actually probably my favorite stream, even over Ryan Tannehill, even over Teddy Bridgewater. All right? So, again, that's the first 6 games of the week. We will go through the rest of them here either tomorrow or on Friday. All right? Let me know what your start-sit questions are down below. All right, peace out. Take care. Now turn up.